Hey guys, right now I'm looking at the 1 minute chart on XAU USD gold, and we just now at 8 o'clock a.m. Indochina time had the opening of Singapore, and Indochina time 8 a.m. had the opening of Singapore and Shanghai, two big gold trading markets. And let's see what's going to happen here. I'd like to look at the 1 minute chart just to see how it's going to kick off. As you can see here, we had, since the Tokyo opened 1 hour ago, it's just mostly been sideways. Nothing really going on in the Tokyo market. A little bit of a drop here initially, and then it came back up, and then mostly sideways until here we are now. So we've got a Dragonfly Doji there. But with it being below the 100 smooth moving average, the 100 SMA, I'm really expecting this to drop, and it's doing that now. This is the second 1 minute candle of the opening. And usually we typically get a fake out, and then after about 4 or 5 minutes it will start going the right direction. The true direction, I should say. Just wait and see how this plays out. And it looks like it might continue down, but I don't like to do anything the first 4 or 5 minutes. Rather just let it play itself out. Get rid of that first 5 minute fake out. What we typically get, of course, is not the same every day. There's no guarantee that we will get a fake out. It's looking like some good downward momentum initially. With the Dragonfly Doji, normally we would expect to see the buyers jump in and take over, but that hasn't happened. At least not yet. And it looks like it wants to continue down. How about that? Not quite 4 minutes into the open. Oh, 4 big red candles. Look at that go now. Now it's on its way. Wow. What a lot of volatility. Look at that 1 minute candle. Came back up in a nanosecond. So in retrospect, this would have been a good trade right here because we had the Dragonfly Doji, which can typically I would expect to see with a Dragonfly Doji, expect to see a bullish move up to see the buyers jump in. But then we did have this bearish candle here close below the 8 EMA. So with the doji and the close below the 8 EMA, I could have taken a short trade on this candle here. And that would have given me from 59 down to 47. That would have been a good scalp right there. And that would have lasted 1, 2, 3 minutes from about, let's say 60, 60 to 48, $12, 120 pips in 3 minutes. That would have been a good scalp. But as I said, I like to wait the first 4 or 5 minutes and see what the true direction is going to be. And it looks like, well, we don't know yet. Sometimes this will come back up and just hit the 8 EMA and then continue the same direction. But that would have been a good scalp for 120 pips. At first, taking that at 802 on the third candle that came out, 802 and 3 minutes, 120 pips. And we were below the 100 moving average. But I'm really looking for a day trade here, not a scalp. I don't like to scalp in the morning in the opening of the Asian session. I do my scalping in the opening of the New York session. Now 7 minutes gone into the opening. It looks like the bears have control. We'll just keep watching the chart. Nobody's come in yet. We usually get some followers come in now. So now we're going to get this sideways consolidation here at this level, around the 5050 level. And it will either continue down, which it looks like it wants to. Yeah, the sellers have control. That's pretty clear. So that would have been a good trade on that second candle on the 1 minute chart. Okay, let's go back over to the my usual chart, 15-minute chart. And here's the 15-minute chart on gold, XAU USD. And I just want to readjust my trend lines before we had the opening there. Okay, here's the first 15-minute candle. And it's come down and touched the trend line, but not broken below it. And typically what I will do, if this breaks below the trend line and closes below the trend line, then I will go short. But in today's session, I won't do that because the stop loss I would put above my red downward trend line, and that is about a 500 pip stop loss, $50. It's too far away. Yes, I could reduce my lot size, but even so, that's a $50 stop loss, too much. So what I'm looking for is during the day, let it come over here and give me more closer to this wedge. Then if it breaks below either direction, then I would go short or long, depending on which way it breaks. So I will not be going short or going long in this Asian session because the trend lines are so far apart because of the huge difference that we had between the opening low and the opening high when New Zealand opened, when the market first started today. Hey, good morning, Howard. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Juan, nice to see you. Good to see you guys here today. As I just explained, this is my usual 15-minute chart we're looking at. And as you know, if it breaks and closes below the upward trend line, then I would go short. But today in the Asian session, I will not take a short trade. There's just too much distance between my trend lines. My stop loss would be way up here. That would be about a $50 stop loss. So I'll be waiting later in the day, perhaps in the London session as it moves across and as I readjust my trend lines to see if I have a valid trade setup. But for me, this is not a valid trade setup. And before you guys came in, I was looking at the 1-minute chart. And this is the first candle here, right there. That's the first candle, was a Dragonfly Doji. And I would expect to see that after a Dragonfly Doji that the buyers would come in and push the price up. But that didn't happen. We started to get some downward movement, and I did not go short. Although it's obvious now the sellers have control. So the move is down. We're going to go to lower prices in the Asian session. That's very clear now. Already 12 minutes into the opening. Go back to the 15-minute chart. And that is now 2 more minutes left on this. It looks like it's going to close below the trend line. And for me, that would be to go short. I could put my stop loss here above this one, above the pivot point. Still, that's 78. That's still a $35 stop loss. You know, these candles are so deceiving because the moves are so big this year. A $35 stop loss is just, that's not what I want to do. Are you guys taking a trade? Look at that. You see why, this is why I wait for that 15-minute candle to close before making a decision. It's already pulled back up to the trend line. Now it might continue down. We still got another 30 seconds. Yeah, it looks like it will close below the trend line. Another 10 seconds. And we could be going down to our first support level there is 5029. Yep, and the second candle is turning bearish also. Now we have our second 15-minute candle. 5029 would be the target if you want to take that one. And just looking at the stochastic, it's quite low, oversold. That's on 16. Anything below 20 is considered oversold. But I don't base my trades on that. It can stay oversold for a long time, for the entire day sometimes. Yeah, need to look at your EW chart. Let me know what you see, Howard. What's your analysis? Share that with us, if you don't mind. The second candle might just bounce off of the trend line and come back down. We'll have to wait and see how that one plays out. But again, this is, I'm not going to go short here. It's just too big of a stop loss for the way I play my strategy. I would take the trade here and then put my stop loss above the downward trend line, and that would be a $50 stop loss. Too much. Oh my goodness. I'll go back to the 1 minute chart here and getting a very big, oh, look at that. We've got a long-legged doji here and a massive bullish candle on the 1 minute chart and continuing up. Now, if this is going to break above the 100 moving average, then we'd be going up to right there. Actually, that would have been typically would be a scalp, a long trade, a buy trade for me on this candle here. But I really want to see it above this 100 moving average before I do anything like that. On the scalping chart, as you can see, this is my scalping 1 minute chart. So it looks like the may have tried to take over here. But that's not real clear just yet. Well, as I explained to you yesterday, as long as I'm below this 100 moving average, I'm looking for short trades on the scalping chart. One good signal there with that long-legged doji and then a close above, but I'm still below my 100. And all it did so far was come up and touch the 100 and fall back down, which has done that up in here. It did try to close above it, but couldn't stay above it for more than a few minutes and then fell back down. I think we're in store for lower prices today. We did hit 5,100 last night in the New York session, but now we're trading at 5056. So perhaps going down to 5,000 today. Go back to the 15-minute chart. No, it's okay, Raj. Don't worry. You're here. That's good. That's cool. No problem about being late. Now it's really trying. I'm looking at the 1 minute chart, but you don't see it on the screen. and it's trying to break above that 100 now. I'm going to go back and show you guys something from the New York session. Hang on a minute while I get my chart back to where it will make sense to you. I have to scroll back a lot. So this is very interesting. You see, if it had broken below, normally I would take a short trade there, but as I didn't, because my stop loss would be way up here, and now this one's going a bit funny, but now it's all it's done is pull back, and now it's continuing down. So it looks like we're going back to lower prices. Yeah, I just want to share that chart with you from last night in the Wall Street session. This is the Wall Street session, and this candle right here. This is Doji, and this is exactly 9:30. That's when Wall Street opened, and we got a Doji there. And then on my 1-minute chart, which you're looking at, is what I like to use in a New York Open. And I wait 2 or 3 minutes before taking a trade, see what it's going to do, if I can get any clear direction. And it had broken below and closed below my 8 EMA, and I am below the 100. So I didn't take on the first minute, give it a couple of minutes, and then this bearish candle here, I took the trade right there. You can see entry point on this trade right here. On this candle right here, I took the trade. That was the entry point. And then the next minute, it moved back up and hit the 100. But then this is now 5 minutes into the open. It started to go the right direction. And that was 8 minutes. I had my take profit at 5040. 8 minutes into the trade, and it took 220 pips. And my stop loss was up here above the high of the doji. That was at 5080. So about a 1-to-1, a little bit more than that. But that's all you want to look for in scalping, at least for me. I don't look for a fantastic risk to reward ratio in scalping. 220 pips in 8 minutes was just fine. And then I'm done. I didn't take any more trades. But as you can see, it did play out very, very well, because we got the reversal here, and then it closed above. This was no doji, which I would be looking for, but it did close above the 8 EMA. Then we got the doji, and then the candle started to close above that, stay above it as support, okay? And I could have taken the trade again, the reversal trade, right in here, or either one of these candles here. Then it came up, went sideways for a little bit, then came back up to where my stop loss was on the first trade. So that would have been another good trade, a reversal trade. And then, and this is all in the first hour. And then it bounced off of that, a huge, massive, bearish engulfing candle, and then closed below my 8 EMA. So I could have taken another trade, another short trade here, and that one would have come back down to where my original my original take profit was at 5040. So that would have been 3 great massive trades in 1 hour. 3 great trades all in 1 hour. But as I've told you before, I have not been watching the New York session. This is kind of new for me. I want to get a feel for it and see how this strategy works. So, I'm quite happy with 220 pips in 8 minutes. So I just let it do what it does. But now I might start to look to try and participate in the first full hour. and see if I can get something like this maybe tonight or tomorrow. So I'm getting a good feel now for the opening of the New York session, and that's all I want to watch is the first hour. I'm not going to stay up until the close of the New York session or anything like that. I mean, it's too late for me anyway. But I see that this, excuse me, I see that this first, I really like the New York opening because it definitely usually makes some good moves in the first 10 minutes. And then as I can see from this entire chart, looking back on it, the entire first hour was very, very good. You just have to play the reversal and then the reversal of the reversal, if you can say that. Yeah, you were up late last night, Raj, and you watched the New York session. Okay, Howard, here's Howard's analysis that the 15-minute has bounced off of the 200 SMA and has pulled back to the 61% Fibonacci mark. Looks long, question mark. Okay. I wouldn't say it's long yet. That's not what I'm seeing. So you were checking to see what happened with the data. Oh, yeah, that was the non-farm payrolls came out last night. It's supposed to be the first Friday of every month, but it's another government shutdown. So there was the delay in the data, and although the data was really good for the U.S. market, and so gold went south, dropped like a brick. But within 1 hour, the price came right back to where it was before the news came out. So what we saw was just a knee-jerk reaction to the non-farm payrolls. And I did not take a trade in it. It was just too volatile. It was really, really volatile. Alternate view. Where am I wrong? 1 hour ABC. ABC, okay, now you're talking Elliott wave terminology, which is way over my head. I just cannot get my head around the Elliott wave. 1 hour ABC pull back to 5,000 mark. 1 hour stochastic sentiment support short. Okay. Alternate view. That's always good to have an alternate view. Sit on hands until I have more decisive. Oh, good move, Howard. Good move. That's what we have to do sometimes. Just wait. We spend more time waiting. 99% of our time as traders is spent waiting. Well, you have 3 touch points on the 15-minute. Well, 3 touch points on the 15-minute to go short. I'm not seeing that. I have 1, 2, and this candle here, that's broken below the trend line. And according to this trend line strategy, you would go short if this candle breaks and closes below the trend line. But as I said, I will not take that short trade because my stop loss, according to my trade setup strategy, would be above the downward trend line, and that would be a 500 pip stop loss, $50. From here at 5044 to 5104, that's too big of a stop loss. It's too far away. So I would not go short on, and I did not go short on this candle. Typically I would if it was a more decent stop loss, maybe 200 pips, $20 stop loss. So I'm okay with that, but not $50. Okay. Yeah, I do that sometimes. Okay. Let me see if I can move that. So yeah, this candle is finished. Okay, now I see now I see your 3 touch points, Howard. So okay, let's look at this again. You've got your 3 touch points. So what are you thinking? Go short? If these are your 3 touch points, it's between the trend lines. So you would go long because it's bounced off of the trend line. Is that what you're saying? You can't go short because it hasn't broken below the trend line. Yeah, I agree. You've got 3 touch points, but in order to go short, it has to break below the trend line. So if you want to go long, you're calling that a bounce off of the trend line and then go long. And yes, if you watch Tori's videos, you can play it both ways: a break of the trend line or a bounce off of the trend line. But she only takes breaks of the trend line. Some people do use this trend line strategy and take the bounce, but I don't. But you can. It is used that way by some traders. I think her sister does it that way. But Tori only takes the break, and I only take the break. So yes, three touch points, but no break below the trend line. Yeah, that's right. So we're on the same page, Howard. Not yet. Wait for the candle to break the trend line to go short. Absolutely. And as it's moving across and getting, less distance between these, then if it comes over here, if it breaks the trend line over here, this would be in the London session. If it breaks over here, then I would definitely be keen to go short because my stop loss would be right here. But at the moment where it is, there's too much distance between these. And I don't know if she has a Discord group, and it used to be free to join, but now you have to pay. I'm not sure how much it is. I was in that for about 6 months. And all of the traders, and there's 20,000 people in the Discord group, and everybody in there would agree on that it's too much distance between the trend line. So you just wait. You have to sit on your hands and just wait for a better trade setup. Too much distance between the two trend lines. Anybody else taking a trade? Anybody in the group here taking a trade? Any trade you want to share with us? Any questions you have? Any strategy that you're looking at? I'll turn that off and see if I can do my. Oh, let's just jump over real quick and look at forexfactor.com and see what's coming up today. We have at 1 hour before London opens, we have some news on the pound in the UK, the GDP month on month, and then in the US, 1 hour before Wall Street opens, we have some news on the US economy, and that's the typical unemployment claims comes every Thursday. And let's see what the forecast is. The forecast is that the unemployment claims are going to be lower than it was the previous month. So we'll just see what the data says. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I'm now using a different support and resistance tool. I found a good one that I like on TradingView. I previously have been drawing these lines myself, but I found a good support and resistance indicator on TradingView that I really like. It's just called Pivot Points Standard. Pivot Points Standard. If you want to check that out, and you can adjust the colors, you can adjust how many support and resistance lines you have, you can adjust the pivot point. It's really good, and it's nice and clean on the chart. So now I don't have to draw those. Oh, you made enough for a cup of coffee. Well, uh, congratulations. That's well done, Howard. Give Howard a round of applause. Good job. It depends where you where you have your hot chocolate. Do you have it at McDonald's or do you have it at Starbucks? It'd be quite expensive if you have it at Starbucks. I don't go there very often. I don't like their coffee. I go there for their sandwiches sometimes, but I don't care for their coffee. The McDonald's coffee is much better, and it's about one. Okay, guys, I'm going to bail out here. As you can see, we're not getting any trade set up that I would normally take on this trend line strategy. We're getting we had a bearish candle and a bullish candle, and we're pretty much at the price where it was when the market opened. And I just noticed yesterday that when I signed off, that a good trade setup came in on the next candle. I believe that was. But I had already signed off. I told you I wanted to get some rest because I caught a cold in Kathmandu, and now I'm feeling better. But it's pretty clear to me that there's definitely there's not going to be any good trade setup for me in this Asian session. So I'll just wait and see how it plays out. I'll come back to the London session and have a look and see what the chart looks like. But then for sure, I'll be back in the New York session to play the New York Open and do my scalping chart. Yeah, you're welcome, Howard. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like and share. And thank all of you guys for joining in. And remember, I'm back in the swing of things now, and I'll be here again tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's Friday. TGIF. Thank goodness tomorrow's Friday. And then I'll see you again in the next video. Have a great day wherever you are in the world.